Hi guys, I'm trying to catch the last bit of sunlight here in Washington State before I lose it for the evening, but I'm just being guided to post a story for you regarding one of my clients. As many of you may or may not know, I've been in the medical field now for 36 years. Been a nurse since 1998, done multiple things, and seen a lot of things. And I think one of the reasons why my guides want me to start this channel is to give people a different perspective. People who are not being healed by the healthcare community. People with addictions that aren't being helped. That maybe by sharing my experiences with my clients, people will start to see and realize that there's a whole nother perspective in our healing that needs to be addressed. I'm going to start today with I'm going to change his name because of HIPAA. I'm going to start with Joe. We'll call him Joe. So Joe was a retired police officer that I met in the Philadelphia airport. I was coming back to Washington State. And we exchanged numbers and all and talked a little bit. We kept in touch. He was an overlander just like I was, both living out of our trucks and stuff. So he ended up, he had a cataract in his one eye that actually started at a very young age when he was around 20. And by the time he was I want to say in his 40s, I don't remember his exact age, the cataract had pretty much caused him to be what we term legally blind. So he ended up having to retire early from the police force. So one day I get this call from him and he's kind of panicking. He's very upset. And what happened was he ended up with a tear in his good eye. So he's kind of freaking out because, he doesn't want to lose that vision in that eye either. So I told him I'm in another state. So I told him, well, look, I can do what's called remote healing. So basically remote healing is getting permission from the person to work on their body, their energetic fields, and send them energy through intention. It's probably the simplest way to explain it. I don't know quite how else to explain it, but in simple terms anyway. So I went ahead and was working on him remotely, and I kept getting the number 12. And when I got done, I said to Joe, I said, Joe, I kept receiving the number 12. What happened when you were 12? Usually when I get numbers, when I'm working on someone, it usually indicates that there's something that happened to them during that time frame of life. Something that needs to be addressed. And he's like, oh, I can't think of anything. And I said, no, something happened at 12. I know. He's like, no, can't think of anything. Give me I don't know. So a few more sessions, doing remote. And he says to me, hey, I really want to see what you're doing. Because we were actually doing pretty good. We actually had the tear almost 92% closed. And so he's like, I want to see what you're doing. I said, oh, you know what? Fine. Yeah, I'll actually be around. You're in that state, in a few weeks. We can catch up, and I'll do an energy balancing on you. So I felt like his energy, a couple of his chakras were closed and stuff. And he was like, sure, yeah, let's do it. So fast forward a few weeks, I show up and I'm balancing his chakras, and I'm opening up his chakras, pouring energy in, balancing him and stuff. And I get all the way to his crown and his soul star. And again, I keep seeing the number 12, and I'm like, Joe, something about number 12. There's something you need to take care of at the age of 12. So all of a sudden, as I'm working on his crown and his soul star, his head jerks violently to the side, and he's like, what the hell was that? I'm like, I don't know, what happened? And he's like, I don't know, I just literally felt like I got kicked in the head. So I decided to sit on it. I've never had this happen to me before with another client, and I was like, whoa, what just happened? What did just happen? So what his guide showed me, and what my guide showed me, was he had a negative being that was sitting on the optic nerve, the part of the optic nerve that went to the eye with the cataract. And what they showed me was a line It looked like a telephone wire line, and showed me like this little gray blob that was sitting on the line, and the line was going straight and then dipped down where this being, this blob, was sitting. So I turn around, I tell Joe what it was, that basically his frequency, by us opening his chakras and things, and just being around me, a lot of my energy will remove entities just through touch. When I explained to him that he had an entity that was sitting on his cataract, not on the cataract, but on the optic nerve, that was cutting off the blood flow and the nutrients to the eye, and that's what was creating those cataracts. He said to me, oh my gosh, 12. I was 11 or 12 years old when I messed with a Ouija board. And I said, oh my gosh, this little sucker came through the Ouija board. He didn't protect himself. They're kids, you know, they were just goofing around. This little being came through the Ouija board and nestled on his optic nerve. That entity's weight, if you will, by it sitting on the optic nerve, was cutting off all the nutrients, and that was creating the cataract. We were both like, whoa, holy. So I just want to, I think what my guides want me to do is to share these experiences with you and start getting you to realize there's a lot to healthcare that we don't know about. There's so much to addiction that we don't know about. And based on my own personal experiences, I've got a lot of questions now. I have a lot of questions, and my world is not as snuggy-wuggy as it was in the healthcare world. You know, the healthcare world was, they have this symptom, they have this, you know, give them this pill, whatever. I'm starting to figure out that maybe the reason why some diseases aren't healable, if you will, or why people struggle with addictions or multiple personalities, maybe something more than what we think. It may cause us to pause and start questioning what's in our world, what really is in our world. So if you have any similar experience, or you just want to talk to me, please feel free to email me down below. If this video did not resonate with you, don't, just go ahead, go about your thing. If it did resonate with you, please hit the like button. And if you want to hear more of these stories, maybe there's a story in there of a client, one of my experiences, that might hit home for you. I don't know. Hit the subscribe button for me. And yeah. And if you want an Akashic record reading, you want to know your soul purpose here, your journey, feel free to email me also, and I will set you up for an Akashic record reading. And for now, I think I'm losing my daylight. I'm just getting a little chilly out here. I'm starting to shake a little bit because I'm cold. So yeah, have a great day, guys. Bye.